think a quick introduction. I'm Ajay Pimparkar. I'm CEO for Godrej Infotech, which is part of Godrej Enterprises Group. And I think we are in the unique place where we are partner as well as we are the customer for the big, a very large company where we are using Info ERP LN. And I think that which I'll be sharing today with you all, that what we are doing and how we are preparing ourselves for cloud journey. So if I have to tell, see, Godrej and Boyce is an organization. We are based out of Mumbai, India. It's 126-year-old organization, and in Godrej and Boyce we are having 14 different BUs. So legal entity, legal company is one, but there are 14 different BUs, and all 14 different BUs we are using ERP LN today. And these are the diversified 14 BUs. We call them a combination of locks to launcher. We started, the Godrej and Boyce started their journey 126 years back as a manufacturer of a lock, and then with all other products which I will take you through, to the end what we are doing is we are working with the aerospace industry in India, where the launcher, that is, all of us heard last year that India had a Chandrayaan mission, wherein there was a satellite launch, the rover launch onto moon, and Godrej and Boyce, one of the division, manufactured the stage 2 and the stage 3 engine of that yarn. So I think and I'll be taking all what other 14 businesses are there. I think beauty of this use case is that all 14 BUs are mapped into a single ERP instance, and the requirement of each and every BU is different, but it is managed into a single instance, not a separate instance. So if I will just take you what these 14 BUs are there, some of them are for consumer facing product, some of them are consumer plus business, B2B2C, some of them are completely B2B. Then we are having something like logistics and product solution for racking solution and all that. Then we are having industrial product solution, and then some kind of a corporate function. If you see this 14 strategic unit, the first one is appliances, which is actually getting into a consumer. So we manufacture the refrigerators, the washers, and that is actually for all consumers over here. The second vertical over there is Interior, which is a furniture brand. So Godrej and Boyce manufactures furniture for all the customers' office as well as home. We are having locking solution, which is actually a locks which are getting into all the doors. We are having a security systems, meaning all the security systems getting into the banks for their lockers and all that are actually manufactured by Godrej and Boyce. We started with locks 126 years back, but I think for security systems also the starting was the first independent elections of India, where the ballot boxes were actually manufactured by Godrej as requirement, as the specification of government, and that division finally went into having all those big locker units for banks and all that. We are doing the electrical and electronics, the rural electrification of India, where the electricity lines are laid to the villages and all that. We take care of laying those electricity lines till the last mile. Lot of work has already happened, but at least there are 15 to 20% villages are still without power, and our one of these division takes care of laying of those electricity cables for government. Locking motors, here we actually manufacture compressors which are going for refrigerator units. Construction, we are into real estate development, and we come out with maybe the areas where we build the buildings, and those flats are sold to the end consumer. Prima, this is actually the division where we are audio visual equipment we are selling on to. The storage solutions, the automated racking system, we have seen that it's a completely automated, where the pallet boxes are put onto the aisle and then go into the storage, and when we retrieve it, it comes back for dispatches and all that. Material handling are the lifting devices, where we are having forklift trucks. The process equipment is we manufacture the heat exchanger units, where one job is like 1,000 metric tons, single job, which actually given to the refinery companies over here. The precision engineering, which is actually we are manufacturing a very specific components where we are also manufacturing the missiles. The BrahMos missile, which actually is used by government, is actually used by Godrej and Boyce. Tooling is we manufacture the tools for all automotives in India, like Honda or other automotive company. We manufacture tools from them. And aerospace, I mentioned the launcher, what we are doing. Now, why I'm building all this over here is all these 14 BUs are mapped into a single ERP LN instance, and that's the way we are using. So now you understand the complexity of, say, locks kind of a business, complexity of a process equipment kind of business, or complexity of a construction kind of business, where your revenue recognition is very different. I mean, as your completion of the slabs keeps on happening, you need to start recognizing revenue. All these various things we have mapped into single ERP instance, and I'm maybe repeating it again and again. It is not that we are having 14 instances so that you can tweak the parameters and play with that. So all common parameters will be one set of things. So I think the biggest experience what we get from this as Godrej Infotech of this implementation is, I think we understand the problem statement of a user, and we try to find out what's the best solution which can be available into ERP LN, which can meet their requirement. So I think our consultant, the USP is that they try to find out a solution for any use case, or very closer solution for any use case which otherwise a customer is having onto that. So quickly, we are $1.8 billion company, 15,000 employees we are having, 14 BU units I said, we are having a global footprint, and 1/3 of India's population uses Godrej product every day. So that's what is our penetration of Godrej products onto that. If I will come to ERP LN, so as I mentioned, we are using ERP LN as a backbone. So it is a centralized ERP, and we are using various info products which are connected to ERP. So we are using PLM, the Infor PLM suite, and all atom code data, the master of the records, or what we are saying is the single source of truth for atom codes and bill of material, is into the PLM solution. And we have adopted UNSP-SC codification for atom coding, and this we did when we migrated from BAN 4C4 to ERP LN. Also onto this journey, we started in '96 with Triton, then it was with BAN. By the time we finished our mapping exercise, BAN then came with BAN 4C4, and we went live on BAN 4C4 in 1998. Then we moved that, and then in 2012 we started mapping onto the ERP LN 10.4, and in 2016 we went live on ERP LN, and then since then we are using ERP LN, and now we are ready for going on to the cloud soon. So while we have implemented all these products now for with 10.4 PLM we are using. Now when we did in 2012, I said UNSP-SC codification. Because of this UNSP-SC codification, when we get the extract, we get all analytics out of the box, like how the commodity is going, because you know in the discrete manufacturing, bill of material is varied. So we know that which component is actually getting into which commodity, and just extracting a data from that, we start getting commodity wise how the things are going. So we know if the commodity is going adverse, which all component and how it is going to have an impact on our bill of material. EAM, which is asset management solution, now this was actually product with Infor, now it has gone to Hexagon, but we are using that for plant maintenance, IT asset, and all plant complete service maintenance is happening through EAM. We are using factory track, and this factory track we are using for all raw material, incoming, outgoing, and FG outgoing. So all the transactions which are happening of the inventories are completely barcoded, and we are using factory track for that. ION is a backbone. I will also come to one slide where ERP, LN, and Infor suites are some product, but we are using all the other products like CRM and all that. So ION bus is actually a backbone for us. So all interfaces with all the other products, including within ERP, LN and outside ERP, LN, are happening through ION. Within ERP-LN also, if you see that all workflows with some kind of authorization is built into that, and we are using extensively, we are using Ion. DEPM, because as I said, we are having 14 BUs, and 14 BUs are also individual profit center, and there are corporate functions. So the corporate functions expenses need to be loaded onto the BU, and then the BU profitability need to work out. We are using DEPM solution for that to get that profitability for ourselves. If we go to the further products, as I mentioned to you that when we talk about the ERP-LN, when we talk about the ERP-LN and Infor suites of product, so we have Infor, we are having all these products what we discussed onto a lot last slide, but we are integrated that completely with other solutions which are available in the market. So Windshield, SFDC, that is Salesforce, e-commerce of IBM suite, as well as Magento, RPA, Automation Anywhere, as well as Blue Prism, and the CAD solutions. All these solutions are integrated with the Infor suites of product through Ion Bus. If we see, there are still some kind of a requirement which we are having our own custom built solution, because there is like I also mentioned that this group for their inventory planning using theory of constraint methodology, and in ERP-LN theory of constraint is not mapped. We are having MRP and all. So we take that data out from here, process it into this system, take it back over here and use it forward. So all these integrations are really mapped onto that using Ion, and some places where it is required immediately, like say e-commerce, when the customer is booking order onto e-commerce portal, he need to get a visibility whether item is available to be shipped or not. So that on the fly gets the information from ERP-LN and gives it the commitment, and then patches everything. So I think integration is one area where we have built all system completely integrated, though it's a separate product. This is a very busy slide, and this is what is actually IT landscape, and here maybe I wanted to spend some more time. So what we discuss is this is coming from Infor, and maybe all of us are aware of, and we are using one or other this product extensively. But if we see from this Infor products, we are having our own HR suite that is completely integrated over here. We are having a separate payroll suite which is integrated with ERP-LN and all that. With these data combined together, we are having audit query language to really get controls and compliance to really see, are we finding any kind of a transaction which is not a standard transaction for us. We are having a portal for WBDS, that is a web-based dealer system. So all dealers are logging onto our system directly, and through that they connect, and again the data comes onto the ERP-LN. So all the data finally comes into the ERP-LN, and we are able to do. Salesforce we are implemented for service and sales. That data also gets integrated to ERP-LN. E-commerce get integrated, DEPM, EAM. As I mentioned, we are having for inventory management the TOC engine. So data from ERP-LN comes into over here. This decides that what kind of replenishment order should be defined, what production order should be defined, and that data goes back into ERP and taken forward. We are using factory track for all in and out doing. We are having SmartNet for the refrigerator. When there are calls, breakdown calls are booked by customers, those are managed into this system, and again it integrates with ERP-LN for inventory and accounting purpose. And we have all design products connected. That all is having a business intelligence layer. We are having our own data lake onto AWS, and that data which is there into data lake, which flows from ERP, HR systems, our own developed systems, CRM system, through business intelligence, we take it for end customer viewing through Power BI Cube. So this is what is our total landscape of ERP. Now, when we are having such a, what we call it as a complex architecture of the system, when now we want to move this piece from 10.4 to cloud, please understand what all we need to take care of it. And this is a running engine. We need to see that the day we are going to go forward, we need to see that all these functionalities are available from day one onto the new engine. So working onto the cloud or preparing ourselves cloud has become extremely important for us. Now, for that, what we are doing is, number one, onto ERP LN side or the info product side, we have already done a mapping. Like PLM, we have already checked and it can work. The cloud version of PLM can work very well into, and the integrations are already built in. The EAM, DEPM, we have already checked the migration, it will happen. For ERP LN, because so much of a integration was there and validation was there, we have done a lot of work on UEDLL, table extensions and customization. We got a framework how we want to move that onto the cloud suite so that there is no customization required, but we will get a functionality what we are having. So this work is also done by us. The process work will start now, and if we see the data archival, the data size of our current instance is around 20 TB. So while we are doing that, we will also, because some of the systems we are developed were into Java and .NET technology, we are taking this particular opportunity to move them onto a cloud native or the low code no code technology. So some of the systems we have already started migrating from old Java or .NET technology into the AWS cloud native development, and some of them we are moving on to low code no code technology. So that will happen parallel. And certain systems like HRIS and all that, which were homegrown system, we are going to adopt a standard kind of solution for that. So these kind of methodology we are going to adopt to really see that how we can really move on to the cloud using this kind of a thing. Now, as we stand today, for cloud, as you saw the businesses of that, some of the business are with Government of India. So there is a mandate from Government of India that the data should be residing within a country, because there is a data of defense and all that. Unfortunately for us, for Info Cloud, we do not have a data center or the data residing on AWS which is within India. We as a partner have done multiple projects for cloud migration, but then for ourselves we got stuck over there because till the time that data center is not available in India, I think if we move forward we may have to come back. So I think we are in the talks with Info, and I think we are having a very positive feedback from them that within maybe next 2 months or so they will take that decision, and that data center, because AWS is there in India, but they have to set up their cloud onto AWS and get that. The moment we get that tick, we will trigger this project, which is expected. In fact, we have done a complete blueprinting of that for almost 18 months of project, which will move that full landscape from an existing area to the new cloud suite, and we'll be ready to do that. So, yeah.
So here we have Gov Cloud and Commercial Cloud in the US.
Huh.
Does India also have the same Gov Cloud and Commercial Cloud?
No, it's one cloud, commercial cloud only.
Okay.
Like, I mean, and AWS what Info is going to use over there.
Okay.
So Info Cloud is there, but then we will not able to use the layer of Info they are putting onto the cloud to get that on the cloud suite.
Okay. So for all your defense stuff,
Yeah.
it just has to be in India. It doesn't have to be in a Gov Cloud.
No. There is so the data what we are having is only because it is not like a IP over there. But then the requirement is that whatever you are doing for government, that data should be in the country's control. So in fact, there is one way also which talks, I mean, as the topic has come in, the data backup can be also there in India. So it's more of a data residency. So if you can get a backup every day from any instance to India and store it, that is, the government is okay for that. But I think it is impossible. I cannot get 20 terabytes of data on the daily basis and replicate it onto instance over here. So it's actually only theoretical, but it is not possible. So, but I think this is doable. Info is quite supportive onto that, and this will be applicable to each and every customer in India. I mean, it is not that it is required for only Godrej. There is a L&T who is also doing similar projects. There are Thermax, there is Jubilant. So I think many of these customers will need that, and I think Info is positive about that.
One more question.
Yes.
About your HR system.
Yes.
Do you have GDPR concept in India?
Yes.
That data has to reside in India.
Yeah, that data also has to reside in India. And in fact, we are getting something beyond GDPR. There is something called DPDP, Data Privacy Act. So we had an equivalent to GDPR IT Act 40. Now from this year onwards, it is getting renamed as DPDP, which technically is more stringent than GDPR. and that is applicable to us overall. And you are right, that also has a requirement that your data should be in India, and that too it should be masked also. So yeah.
So your HR system will be in India, AWS cloud.
Yeah.
Your other commercial will be somewhere in AWS.
No, it will be in AWS in India only.
Oh, India.
We have, because the data lake also we have taken off AWS in India. So if I may call it a raw AWS, we are already subscribed in India. But on that we cannot load Cloud Suite, because Cloud Suite comes through Infor layer and it will reside onto the AWS cloud. Yeah.
You will be on a cloud.
Yeah. Hence the question.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that comes to end of my presentation. Yeah. If more questions are there, I can take them up.
How you are replicating the data? Are you using an ETL, or how frequently you turn on the replication?
See, actually what we are doing is, for today, we are using ETL to extract that data out. And most of our data which is available is normally end of day data. Having said that, there is normally a pattern, and for the all consumer facing products or business to dealer kind of products, there is always a load onto the month end, because I think dealer try to stock something on the month end because there are various schemes. So what we have done is, we have used a very good feature. In fact, our data is residing on SQL. So on SQL, what we have done is, it is high availability. So primary node and secondary mode. We have created a tertiary node in the async mode. So it does not wait for. So that is near real time for us. And all ETL we run onto that tertiary node, so that it is not putting any performance load onto that. And I think these are the practical problems we have faced, and we found some kind of a solution. Because if I start taking extract from primary node, the performance goes down.
When you go to the cloud, you don't get access to the database. What challenges you will be achieving at that time?
No, in fact in the cloud, what is going to happen, we'll get access to AWS data. See, over there also data is going to flow in data lake, but of Infor AWS data cloud. So we will take injection from there and put it onto our data cloud, which is on AWS only. So we'll have that pipe for ourselves to take a data from there.
There is no requirement to build an on-demand live data for the custom applications like that?
Yeah, we have. I mentioned e-commerce. So e-commerce, when I'm booking a order onto e-commerce, the inventory status is in ERP LN. So we need to commit to the customer that whether that item is available or not. So for there we are using direct APIs. So that is not happening through data lake, because through data lake again it will be near real time. Whereas these applications, as you rightly said, need the actual commitment, and we need to freeze that commitment. So for these kind of queries, we are using straight API call. Yeah.
So you're saying that once you move to AWS, you will have access to the underlying data?
Yes.
We were
Okay.
told otherwise.
Yeah, we were
Can
told the same
access
thing.
No, you can access it to their layer. See, you cannot access the raw data, but see, finally you have to put, say, your own BI onto that data. You will have access to that, right? You will not have access to the raw layer. But
It's like a data bricks, right?
yeah, correct, yeah.
Infor will provide data bricks. You
Correct.
replicate the data bricks and
Correct,
get
yeah.
the data from
Yeah.
there.
So you see, if you know the data lake, it is having 3 layers. You are having a raw data, you are having a curated data, and then you maybe run Redshift and all that, and use the engines forward. What will not be available is, if I have my own data lake, the way we are having, we have access to raw level data also.
Yes.
In Info data, you will have access to the extract layer, and that data is meaningful for you. I mean, if you don't have access, you can't run anything. I mean, if I have to put it other way around, if you have access, then only you can use the data in the data lake.
What complexities you saw on the API calls when you written APIs?
See, I think what we have done is, we have created very few APIs. See, all this, let me explain what is the complexity and what's the good part of it. You saw we have built RPA. So on 10.4, we are having almost 70 RPA processes, which has automated a lot of work. Last month, we have done a patch update on 10.4, and 60% of the RPA failed because the screen layout is changed. Okay, so we have to redo that and apply it again. Now the good part is Info themselves are getting into the RPA engine on them. So to the maximum extent possible, once they will come out, we will use that engine. Same thing onto other API as you mentioned. Some of the APIs we have built in, but Info will also release the API slowly. I think they are having a schedule to release few APIs into September and then into next April and all that. So for us, if we want to start by the time we are going live, we need to create our own API. But as Info will release that API, we need to sunset our own custom defined API and start using that API. So we are hoping that, I think we are ready, we are eager to go, because there's a lot of good functionality in Info on Cloud, because as I said, we as a partner, we know what are the features which we are missing when we are on 10.4 and not able to do for our own company. But then this technical error, if technical constraint if we see of government saying that the data has to be in India, is forcing us to, so we have done the work till the time we can do a pre-work. I think beyond this, if we do a work and the decisions get delayed, it will be like a rework for us. So we came up to that point and halted. In fact, we had a meeting with Mr. Soma around say 2 months back, and he said he will come back to us onto that quickly and hopefully positively, because it is not only to us but all customers in India. This is the issue which is applicable. And I think it's a good instance. As I said, it's 14 BUs, same process mapped. I think user-wise also we are having 10,000 named users. So I think it's a complex site. And I think the beauty of that is most of our consultants who are the ERP consultants are actually coming from this stream only. So they, if I put myself as the end customer shoes, when there is a problem coming in, they can correlate and they are able to correlate to that problem what they themselves have faced. So they are not just a software consultant, but they are the people who have worked onto that, like a sales role or purchase role or manufacturing role. They have faced that problem, so they are able to visualize that problem properly and able to give a solution through ERPLM. So that puts us into a unique position as supporting Godrej and Boyce, which is our parent company, and also acting as a partner.